Who does the Consumer Guarantees Act apply to? The Consumer Guarantees Act protects consumers by, among other things, allowing them to seek repairs, replacements, or refunds when goods are faulty. Consumer Guarantees Act sets out quality guarantees any business or person in trade must provide to their customers. It makes sure customers receive what they pay for and, if needed, a repair, refund, or replacement for a faulty product or substandard service. Organisations and businesses who buy consumer products or services from other businesses are also entitled to protection under the Act, unless the seller has contracted out of the Consumer Guarantees Act. The Consumer Guarantees Act can apply to any business providing consumer products or services, including tradespeople, professionals, online traders, importers, finance companies, and retailers, etc. A consumer is anyone who buys products or services that are ordinarily for personal use or household use. The ordinary use may change over time. For example, computers are now commonly used for personal use rather than just used as company capital. Consumers' expectations for goods and services they purchase are gradually increasing. A company generally needs to find a balanced combination of quality, price, sustainability, and being fit for purpose for consumers to be satisfied with their purchases.
So, what are the guarantees given to consumers? Under the CGA, suppliers and manufacturers can owe duties to consumers. As for SMEs which mainly import products from overseas, you can also be liable as an importer if the manufacturer does not have a place of business in New Zealand. Most of the times, consumers bring the claim against the supplier, so it is important that SMEs like you comply to the CGA. This next slide shows the 8 major rights that protects the consumer's interest when consuming goods and services in New Zealand. Goods must be of 1. Acceptable quality, 2. Fit for a particular purpose, 3. Comply with the description, sample, or demonstration model, 4. Reasonable price, 5. Rights to sell the product, 6. Have products to arrive on time in good condition, 7. Have spare parts and repair facilities available, and 8. The manufacturer to honor their guarantees of the good. The elaborate details of the rights can be found on the government website called Consumer Protection, attached at the end of the slides. However, the consumers must also be reasonable in understanding how the standard vary with the type of good purchased, the condition of the good when it's on sale, and most importantly, be a responsible user.
What rights do consumers have when they are unsatisfied with the goods or services provided? In the case of a breach of the CGA, there are multiple remedy options available for the unsatisfied customer. If the purchased goods can be fixed by the supplier, the customer is entitled to this service. If not, the goods may also be replaced or refunded by the supplier at the consumer's request. If instead, the consumer wishes to bring their dispute directly to the manufacturer, they may claim damages for any products purchased that were not of acceptable quality, failed to match the description provided, or were not intended to be sold. So, for example, spare parts used for repairs. Number 5, consequential damages. In the event that any damage is caused to either the consumer or their property as a consequence of the failure of a purchased good, the consumer may also claim consequential damages to the supplier or to a court. However, in order for this claim to be seriously considered, the damage must be directly foreseeable as a consequence of the failure of the product.
Contracting out of the Consumer Guarantees Act is only possible if the transaction is from business to business. Otherwise, it would be a breach of the Fair Trading Act. In order for businesses to be able to contract out of the Consumer Guarantees Act, both parties must be in trade. There must be an agreement in writing to say that the Consumer Guarantees Act does not apply, and the contract must have fair and reasonable terms. Because of the Consumer Guarantees Act, it means that businesses need to try their best to meet the guarantees provided. This is done by taking the time to ensure that their goods are safe, durable, and fit for purpose, that the possibility of defects is minimized, and that the descriptions for their goods are correct and accurate. It also means that businesses will need to ensure that they have measures in place in the case that a repair, replacement, or refund is necessary. Thank you for watching our presentation on the Consumer Guarantees Act.